Assalamu alaikum friends and welcome to my series of Tohfatu Saniyyah. Today's lesson is replacement of dammah by alif, and in my previous video I have already completed the replacement of dammah by the special letter waw. Now in this video I will complete the replacement of dammah by alif and the noon. So two special letters are left and we will do that. In Arabic you can call niyaba alif and dam, and niyaba, if you can remember the word naib in the naib file. Naib means the one who represents. So here niyaba means the representing the dhamma, showing a clear dhamma on the last letter of the noun. Instead of that, we are replacing it with the letter alif. So where do we find this alif? Let's see in our next slide. Let's see the table here, Arraf. So Arraf has more alamat, not only by the dhammas. You don't recognize nouns only by the dhamma, but there are other things. What are the other signs that you can make out that this noun is in marfu case? That is called alamat al-far'iyah, means other than dhamma, there are other signs that you can recognize. Okay, this noun is in marfu case. So what are the signs? Far'iyya signs are the special letters waw, alif and noon. So in the previous video I have already done waw, so this is the quick recap. So this special letter waw is seen in Jama Muzakkar Salim. Where do you see this? At the end of the word, added as a suffix. And then Asma'ul Khams, we will discuss this when I come to the examples. So the first example for Jama Muzakkar is Muslimun. You can see the waw added after the noun as a suffix, and this noon is extra. And in the Asma'ul Khams, as you know, Asma'ul Khams, when they come alone, they show their marfu position by dhamma. For example, if I write only the Asma'ul Khams as ab, so ab is standing alone without attachment with any other thing, so it will show its marfu case by clear dhamma. The moment this Asmaul Khams comes in an idafa structure as Abu Hamidin, so here the Asmaul Khams shows its position not by the dhamma but by the special letter waw here, and it shows that this Asmaul Khams is in marfu case. And when does it come? Only in the idafa structure, so remember that. And then we come to alif. We will do this in the lesson, and later in the video we will also do the noon extra, this special letter noon. So first of all, alif is only and only one position, only one case, that is the musanna or the dual. In the dual nouns, you will see in the structure of the dual nouns, for example, Taliban. So we have our noun Talib, and the moment you want to make it into dual, you just add the suffix alif and the extra noon is added. So our two letters added to make a noun into dual is alif and noon. So there are two additions, two letters addition. But what is the most important letter that we have to keep in mind is the alif, because this alif shows you two things. First is that it's a duality. Second one, it shows that the noun is in marfu case. So remember, the special letter tells you two things. One, that the noun is dual, and the other thing is that it is in marfu case. Now coming to the noon, and noon is seen only in only one case, that is afalul khams, the special five fails or verbs. You will see the noons at the end, and for example you will see here yajlisan. So this noon is actually it's an extra noon, but when it is present it tells you that the this fail is in marfu case. So yes, in fails also we see that the present tense changes its position from marfu to mansub to majzoom, and I'm talking only and only about the present tense. The present tense is actually changing its position from marfu to mansub to majzoom. And past tense does not change their position. Past tense are always mabni. So here I'm talking about only the present tense. And in the present tense, you will find the afalul khams. You will find the afalul khams only in the present tense. So let's proceed further. Now let's understand the explanation of niyaba al-alif and dam. As you know, niyaba means representing the marfu case. Who is representing the marfu case? The alif. So alif is the naib, the representator. So let's see the explanation of Ajurumia. He says, وَأَمَّا الْأَلِفُ فَتَكُونُ عَلَامَ لِلرَّفْعِ. He says that alif is the sign of raf. Whenever you see an alif in a dual case, in a muthanna noun, you immediately know that it is in raf case. Fi tasniyatil asma'i means in the dual nouns. Tasniya means dual and tasniyatil asma'i means all the dual nouns, and khasa means special. So all the dual nouns will show their marfu case in the suffix as an alif. So the alif is now the representator showing that this particular noun is in marfu case. Let's see what Mahiyuddin says. He explains the same, and he adds in his explanation that this raf, the alif which shows the marfu case in the nouns, so it shows only in one position, one case, that is the muthanna case, huwa ismal muthanna. Only in the duals you will find this alif. So let's see the example. Hadara as-sadiqan. So first we will see the structure of the sentence, as I always say. So this is fail, and what comes after fail is fa'il. So sadiqan is file, and we all know that file is in marfu position, and this noun is a dual structure. How do I know that this is a dual structure? Because of the last two letters added in this noun. What are the last two letters? Alif and noon. So this has been added, and you can clearly see it is a suffix after the noun sadiq. So this suffix is important to tell you that it is a dual noun. And in this two letters, which one is the most important letter? That is the alif, showing the marfu case. And this noon is extra. It just comes to instead of a tanween. Since it is a dual, cannot take a dammah, clear dammah. So this noon comes instead of the dammah. And it has no other work in the Arab. So Sadiqan is a muthanna. It is a dual noun. How do you know? As I already said, that it has a suffix alif and noon. And we know that it is a file and it is in marfu case. And the alama of raf is alif. So he says that in this Sadiqan, what is the sign of raf? The alif. You see the alif? Know that it is in raf case. What about the noon? Noon is awad. Awad means instead. Instead, anit tanween. As I said, the dual noun cannot take a clear dhamma. So instead of the dhamma, the noon has come, and it is called awad. Instead of the dhamma, the noon has come. So instead of writing sadiqun, this is the marfu, it is the singular noun, but in duals we don't write the dhamma. Instead, we put the noon at the end. So let's proceed further. What is a muthanna noun? So let's understand what is a muthanna noun. From muthanna or the dual, we know it's referring to. So in Arabic, we have a single, we have dual, and we have jama. So muthanna, we are dealing with two people, two things. So what is the definition of the dual? So this is the definition of the dual. كل اسم دل على اثنين أو اثنتين. اثنين male or اثنتين female. So all the nouns that refers to two is called muthanna. This is the definition of muthanna. So how do you make the structure of the noun into muthanna? بزيادة في آخره. When you see an extra letter at the end, you know that it is a dual structure, and there are and those two letters are special. أغنت means it suffices, suffice means it completes. هذه الزيادة عن العاطف والمعطوف. What do you understand by عن العاطف and معطوف? So I'll just explain what is عاطف and معطوف. Whenever you see a normal sentence with حرف عطف, that is, for example, if I take عمر وحامد, sorry, حامد. So عمر is معطوف عليه, معطوف عليه, إليه. And what is واو حرف عطف is the عاطف. So it is called عاطف. And what is حامد? What is حامد? It is called, everybody knows this, معطوف. The noun that comes after the harf atf is called ma'tuf. So that is atif and ma'tuf. That means that, for an example, if there are two people and you want to say Hadara Omar, and those two people have the same name. So what will you say? Hadara Omaru wa Omaru. So instead of saying the names twice, I will just say Hadara Omaran. By making Omar into a dual structure, from Omar, I made it into a dual structure, Omaran. So if you see the example, Aqbala Omaran wa Hindan. So instead of saying Aqbala Omaru wa Omaru wa Hindun wa Hindun. So instead of saying that, I just said Aqbala Umaran wa Hindan. So it's much easier and logical to say that, right? So the loves here, it shows two. There are two people having the same name, and instead of using Umaru wa Umaru, we use Umaran. So that means if you use a dual, it will fulfill the work of the sentence by using atf and matuf. So that's why they say it's suffixes. Aghnat atif wal matuf means it suffices fulfill the structure of this sentence, harf atf and the matuf. So now if we say another example of Hindun, Hadarat Hindun wa Hindun. So instead of saying Hadarat Hindun wa Hindun means Hindun and Hindun, I say Hadarat al Hindani using the dual structure. So it is more logical to say that, and much better grammatical structure of a sentence. So this is what the author has explained here. Let's move forward. Let's do the exercise, and there are very few questions in regarding this lesson, Niyaba and Iddam. Inshallah, we'll be able to do that. So the first question here is Rudda kulla jama min jumu. Al-atiya ila mufrad means all these noun that has been given, they are all jama plural, and you need to make the singular first and then make it into dual. So let's do this. Jimal, I have done few. Jamal, so this is singular and the dual is jamalan. Likewise, feel is the singular and feelans. Saif, saifan. Sahrij, sahrijan. Then najm, najman. And then hadiqa, hadiqatan. So in this case, hadiqa is a feminine name. Feminine noun, so it has a ta marbuta at the end, and when you make a dual noun, you just need to open up this ta marbuta, make it into normal ta, then add alif wa noon at the end. So in all these structures, you can see that the end of the noun has been added with a suffix, the special letter alif and noon. So the structure of the original noun does not change. Remember that in making the structure of the dual, the original noun, the structure does not change, but after the noun only suffix is attached. And what is the suffix? Alif and noon, as you can see in all the nouns. Only in the female nouns where ta marbuta is there, you need to open up the ta and add alif wa noon. And bustan is the synonym for hadiqa. So It's bustan and it is bustanan, bustanan. So you need to keep in mind bustan, the original noun, and then adding alif wa noon at the end. So don't get confused with the alif wa noon. Here in bustan, this is the original noun, and adding extra alif wa noon at the end becomes bustanani. Then kurtash, so kurtas, kurtasani. So you need to add alif wa noon after the sin. Now we will do the exercise question number 2. ضع كل واحد من المثنات الآتية في كلام مفيد. Now in this, the whole paragraph is consisting of the dual nouns, and you can make the sentences and try to make simple sentences, simple and short sentences. So I have done very few here. Al-aliman, alim, aliman. So two alims. Al-aliman, al-musliman, mahbuban. So if you want to make a sentence of a dual noun, you only have to keep in mind that if you're making a jumla ismiya, make the khabar according to the mubtada. If the mubtada is dual, the khabar follows in dual. So you need to keep in mind that khabar follows mubtada in gender and number. So if the mubtada is dual, the khabar is also dual. So I have taken the sifa for the aliman as in dual. Now al waliyan, waliyan. So I think this is waliyan. Yes, waliyan. Ja'a al-waliyan al-musliman. So pay attention on the structure. This is jumla fa'liya. So ja'a al-waliyan. I know that after file comes, and file is always in marfu, but now it is a dual noun. So how do I show the dual noun in marfu case? By making or attaching alif wa noon. So ja'a al-waliyan al-musliman. So this is sifa according to the noun al-waliyan. It follows in the structure. Al-ikhwan, dhahaba al-ikhwan ila al-masjidi. So you need to follow fail and file. File is always in marfu. So how do I know it's in marfu case? The alif, special letter alif, telling you that this dual noun is in marfu case. In the third question, you need to take dual nouns in the blank. So we will choose suitable dual nouns. Safara dash ila Misr li shahad al asaraha means the ancient monuments. Who visited? So I have taken as-sa'ihan means the tourist visited Egypt to see the ancient monuments. Hadara akhi wa ma'ahu. So who came? My brother came, and with him who are there? So we will take some dual nouns. So صديقان فأكرمتهم. So ولد لخالد means Khalid has two boys, and فسمى أحدهما محمد and سمى الآخر عليا. So he has two boys, and one is named as Muhammad, and the other is named as Aliyan. So ولد لخالد طفلان. طفل and طفلان is dual. Let's do the question answers. في كم موضوع تكون الألف علامة على رفع الكلمة. So the first question asks you how many cases are there where you will see the dual noun showing its marfu case in by the special letter alif. So that is only one. هو واحد. The next question, ما هو المثنى? What is the definition of a مثنى dual noun, or what is a مثنى? هو كل اسم دل على اثنين أو اثنتين. Means it's all the ism that shows two in male and female both. مثل للمثنى بمثالين. Give two examples. One should be مذكر, the other should be مؤنث. So in مذكر, it's أخوان from أخ, and حديقة from حديقة. So these are the question and answers. Now let's proceed to the another topic, نيابة النون عن الدم. So let's see that. نيابة النون عن الدم. So now we are coming to the third special letter, the noon, and it represents the marfu case, and the noon comes in instead of dhamma in marfu case. So let's see here the first one, qala. So this is what the Ajrumia is explaining. وَأَمَّا نُونٌ فَتَكُونُ عَلَامَةً لِلرَّفْعِ. So he explains that the noon is the sign of the marfu case. Where do you see this sign? Only and only in the fail mudare. So you will see the extra noon, the noon zaida in the fail mudare. Why do we see in fail mudare? Because in fail mudare we have the five afalul khams, and those are the special five present tense verb where we see this noon attached at the end as a suffix, and that's why you will see this noon only in fail mudare and nowhere else. Either ittasalat or join when it is joined with the damir. So when you come to fail mudare at the end, you will see some special letters, and one of the letter is the damir representing the phi, and the last is the noon, the extra noon. So it is added, number one, with the damir tasniya. So this damir tasniya means the alif of duality, which represents the duals. أو ضمير جمع. And what is this ضمير جمع? The واو الجمع. And أو ضمير مؤنث مخاطبة. What is this ضمير? The يا مخاطبة. Where do you find this يا مخاطبة? In the second person for the female singular. وأقول and محي الدين explains that تكون النون علامة على الكلمة أن الكلمة التي هي في آخرها means whatever the noon you see that we are talking about, the extra noon, it is attached at the end. And it tells you, the presence of noon tells you that this fail mudari or present tense is in marfu case, in maudu wahid. So he says in only one situation you will see when the fail mudare is joined or attached ila aliful isnain, as I already explained about the Ajrumia has said, or isnatain. Either it will be for the female dual or the male dual. So this is taken as one, or it is attached with the waw al jama for the males waw al jama, or it is attached to the ya mukhatiba. So you will see the noon extra attached with the damir alif musanna, and this damir alif musanna can come for male and female, and this waw al jama for male plural. After this you will find a noon at the end, and then the ya mukhatiba for feminine singular in the second person you will find that a noon is attached with. So let's see the next slide where I have given you some examples so it will be easy to understand. So here you will see that this special letter noon, where do we find this special letter noon? Only in the afalul khamsa, as I said earlier, and especially you will see with the dual aliful ithnain. It can be for the female, it can be for the male. Then in the uh, after the ya mukhatiba, for example, taf'alina, the noon with the fatha you see at the end after this ya mukhatiba. So what you're seeing here is the ya mukhatiba, and after the ya mukhatiba you will see the noon. And now the third one is taf'aluna. I've taken the same example, but just to show you the three different fails. So here you can see the waw al jama for the male plural, and then after that the attachment of the noon extra letter that shows that this present tense is in marfu case. So here you can see in all three cases the noon attached. And now I have given all the five afalul khamsa taf'alani, and this taf'alani from the second person used for both male and female. Taf'aluna with the ta, this tells you it is the second person male plural with the waw al jama. As you can see the damirs here. Then taf'alina, this is for the feminine. This is the damir ya mukhatiba, and this is for feminine singular. Then yaf'aluna, this is from the ghaib. The ya tells you it is the male plural from the ghaibs. And then yaf'alani, this is from the ghaib. It's the ghaib male dual and the ghaib ones. So this is the damir and this is the noon. So these are the 5 afalul khamsa where you will see this extra letter noon, and the presence of noon tells you that this present tense is in marfu case. So now let's see the next slide. See, here is an example of the aliful isnain. So when it is joined, the aliful isnain is actually the damir. The damir which stands for the file tells you how many person are doing the action. So aliful isnain tells you the number that 2 people are doing the action. So amma al-musnad ila aliful isnain. For example, you can see as-sadiqan yusafiran ghadan. So here sadiqan, we know that there are 2-person dual. Now it is a dual noun. Yusafiran, so this is a present tense and it is the aliful musanna at the end. So this aliful musanna tells us that 2 people are traveling. And the noon, presence of noon here will tell you that the presence of noon will tell you that this present tense is in marfu case. There is another example here, antuma. So this damir tells you, this is the separate pronoun, tells you we are talking about the 2 people and we are mukhatib. Tusafiran, this is from the second, because the ta letter tells us it is from the second person. Tusafiran, I am mukhatib to 2 people. You 2 are traveling. Tusafiran ghadan. So what is the present tense here tells you? So we have 2 things to see in this present tense. First of all, this is the ta letter tells us it is the second person. We are talking to 2 people. We are mukhatib, second person. And then the last 2 letter gives us more information. The alif, it tells us 2 people are traveling, and the noon tells us that it is marfu. So now we say yusafiran. Wakaza tusafiran. So both of them are the same, but the ta and the ya is a difference. The ya tells us that it is from the ghayab group, the third person, and the ta tells us it is mukhatib. We are talking. We are mukhatib in front. I'm talking to 2 people. So fail mudare, they both are fail mudare and they both are marfu. How do we know? Because of the presence of noon, it tells us that both of them are in marfu case. Li tajarraduha means it is free. It is free from nasb case. It is free from jazm case. This present tense is not in the nasb case. This present tense is not in the jazm case. Why? What is the proof? The proof is the presence of noon, and that's what you call in the Arab alama raf thubut noon. This means the sign is raf, and what is the proof? Thubut noon, the presence of noon. This is our proof that the present tense is in marfu case. Wa aliful isnain, what is the alif isnain? It is the file, representing the file. And this aliful isnain is considered to be, when you write the Arab about the aliful isnain, you always consider this long vowel alif as a sukoon over it. But we don't write the sukoon over it. We just write aliful isnain. We don't put a visible sukoon. But it is assumed that this long vowel has a sukoon over it, and that's why we write mabni ala sukoon. Always the structure is fixed. Whenever you see the long vowel alif or the damir alif, a sukoon is imagined or assumed over it. That's why in Arab we say mabni ala sukoon fi mahall raf. Why is it rough? Because the damir aliful isnain is representing the file, and file is always in the rough case. So this is how we do the Arab of the present tense, or of the damir alif, the aliful isnain and the noon present. So in this paragraph, the same thing is repeated here. In the fail mudare, as you have seen the example in the previous slide, as tusafiran, tusafirani. I'll be more specific with the haraka. And you saw yusafirani. Yusafirani. So what do you see the difference between the two? The letter. The letter with which it starts, with ta and with the ya. All the structures are the same, but only the starting letter, one starts with the ta and the other starts with the ya. So in this case, it's explained that when it starts with the ta, it tells you that it belongs to the second person group, the mukhatib group, the second person group. And the ya tells you it is from the ghaib group, the third person group. So that is the only explanation here. And now let's see if it is joined. What is joined? The aliful isnatain. Now we are talking about isnatain, means the aliful isnain coming now for the female. So before that, let me tell you that taf'alani. Let me take this example as taf'alani is used for both male and female in the mukhatib group, or in the second person group. So tafalani is used for male also and female also. So now in the previous slide we did this example for the male, but now we are doing for the female. So if you see the example here, al-hindani. Hindani comes from hindun, and this is used for two female. Tusafirani. So the same structure has been used, and this ta is now used for two people mukhatib, but for the two females. Nah example antuma. Likewise, this present tense, the mir for the male duals and female dual in the mukhatib is also one. Antuma is used for male and female both in the mukhatib group. Ya Hindan tusafiran ghadan. So we use the same alif, ul ithnain and noon extra, the noon zaida here. The presence of noon tells you that this fail mudare is in marfu case, and it is free from the mansub case, free from jazm case. It's not in the mansub, not in the jazm. Why? Because of the presence of noon, thubut and noon. You can see in the Arab, these are important points that you have to mention in the Arab. Thubut and noon, the presence of noon tells us that this present tense is in marfu case. And you have to explain what is aliful ithnain. It is alif is the representing the file, and it is mabni ala sukun, as I've already explained why it is said mabni ala sukun fi mahall raf. So this is the Arab that you have to follow whenever you come across a present tense in the ayah. Now let's see the next slide. Now let's see when it is joined with waw al-jama. So now in this example, if you see الرجال المخلصون, this is jumla ismiya mubtada, and this is sifa for rijal. Rijal is plural, and that's why the sifa is also plural. And in this noun you will see the waw, and this waw represents the jama muzakkar salim, and this noon is extra, it gets dropped in the idafa construction. So humul ladhina, they are those people yaqumun. So the verb in question here is our present tense, yaqumun. So in this present tense we have our waw al jama. What does this letter tells us? It tells us about male and plural. Now Then after that, the noon comes in. This is our noon that comes with the vowel jama, and this noon is present in the present tense, and it gives you the information that this present tense yaqumun is in marfu case. So what is the sentence? Ar-rijalul mukhlisuna humul ladhina yaqumuna biwajibahum. And one example, another example is antum. Now this is a separate pronoun and it is used only for male plural. Ya qawmi taqumun. Our fail mudare in question is now taqumun. So you can see the difference, the ta and the ya. The fail mudare is the same. One is with the ya and the other is with the ta. بواجبكم. So فيقومون مثل تقومون, both of the fi'l mudare are in marfu case. How do you know? Because of the noon, because of the presence of the noon. Either it is taqumun or it is yaqumun. Both has noon in it. That means both are in marfu case. And what is the i'rab? The Arab is وَعَلَامَةُ رَفْعِهِ ثُبُوتَ النُّونِ. This is the most important point. Wow al-jama. Now you need to explain what is the wow. It is the file. This is another important point in the Arab. So the first important point is ثبوت النون. Second important point you need to explain about the wow al-jama. It is file, and file that wow al-jama is mabni ala sukun. في محل رفع في محل رفع. So as I said, all these long vowels, alif, waw, and ya, when they come, they don't have haraka over it. No harakas are there, as I have given these sukoons here. There are no harakas over it. And when there is no haraka over it, or it is considered to have assumed. You assume, you don't write over it. There is a sukoon over it. We assume that there is a sukoon over it, but we don't write it. And then we say, in case of these damirs, the alif and the waw al jama or the ya mukhatiba, in case of all these damirs, we will assume that there is a sukoon over the alif. That's why in the Arab we say mabni ala sukoon. That's how we also say waw is waw al jama fa'il mabni ala sukoon, and that's how we say for the ya, it is mabni ala sukoon. So all three of these damirs will be explained the same way. So now here in the second paragraph, if you see the fail mudare, sometimes it starts with a ta, taqumun, sometimes it starts with the ya, yaqumun. They both are the same. One tells you the one which starts with the ya is from the ghaib group. The one which starts with the ta is from the mukhatib group. Now let's see the next slide. Let's do the third noon that comes with the ya mukhatiba. So you don't have to say ya al muannasa al mukhatiba. You can say ya mukhatiba. Now, if you see in this example, anti ya Hindu, Hind is the name of a woman, and ya Hindu ta'rifina wajibaka. Ta'rifina, starting with the ta. Please pay attention that verb present tense in question starts with a ta only, and then we have this ya mukhatiba before the noon, and this noon is present. That means it's telling us that this ta'rifina present tense verb is in marfu case. So ta'rifin fi'al mudari marfu. How do we know? Because of the presence of the noon. So this is the first point. And what is the alama? It is rough. Why? How do I know? Because of the presence of the noon, subut noon. And this ya mukhatiba is the file. This ya mukhatiba is the file. And what is the Arab? As I said, all these damirs, aliful isnain, waw al jama, ya mukhatiba will be explained the same way. Mabni ala sukun fi mahall raf. And one thing you will see that there is no ya'rifina, because this ta'rifina with the ya mukhatiba comes only in the second person. For whom does it come? For the single female. So you will see only in the mukhatib, not in the ghayab. So this is one important point that has been given in this paragraph. Now let's see the next slide. The same thing has been explained here. فَتَخَلَّصْ لَكَ أَنَ الْمُسْنَدْ إِلَى الْأَلِفِ يَكُونُ مَبْدُوًا. Either if you see in the damir aliful isnain, when the aliful isnain comes, it is either joined or starts with the ta or the ya. So aliful isnain can come for the male and female, and it can represent ta from the mukhatib, ya from the ghaib. And then when it is joined with the waw al jama, so it can also represent for the males, for the males in the mukhatib and males in the ghaib. But when it is joined with the ya mukhatiba, it only starts with a ta. It does not start with the ya. So this is the most important point you need to keep in mind. And there are examples of afalul khamsa. As now you can pay attention when the aliful isnain comes. First one is with yaqumun. This ya tells it is for the ghayab dual. Then taquma, I'm sorry, yaquman, it is ghayab dual. Then taquman, starting with the ta, this is for the mukhatib dual. Yaqumun, this is male jama plural, muzakkar in the ghayab. And taqumun, this is from the mukhatib, male plural in the mukhatib group. And taqumeen, so it starts with only letter ta, because this represents only female singular in the mukhatib. So that's why it only starts with the ta. تسمى هذه الأمثلة, all these are named as أفعال الخمس. Let's do the exercises here. دعا في كل مكان من الأماكن خالية فعلا من أفعال الخمس مناسب. So you have to choose some أفعال الخمس according to the sentence, and when you read the sentence you have to keep in mind about the number, the gender, then about the first person, second person and the third person. So the first one, al-awlad. Al-awlad, now this is a male noun. So whatever afalul khams you will choose accordingly. Fin nahri. So what are they doing in the nahar, in the river? Yes, bahun. And are you mukhatib to them? No, we are not mukhatib. So we will choose a afalul khams from the ghab. So yes, habun. Sorry, yes, bahun. The second one, anti ya Zainabu. So I am mukhatib to one single feminine. So whatever fail you will choose the falul khams for the feminine singular, that is with the ya mukhatiba. So ta'rifina wajibaka. Al-aba'u, so this is a male plural and I'm not mukhatib. Ya'tifun ala al-abna'ihim. So ya'tifun and with a ya, because I'm not mukhatib. So we are speaking for the person who is not in front of us. So we take the afalul khamsa for waw al-jama. Why? Because abna'i is male plural. And we are not talking about somebody who is in front of us, but someone or some people, they are not present in front of us. Al fatatani dash al jundi. Jundi is the soldiers or troops. So to shajji'an, to support the soldiers. Antuma ayyuhal ghulaman. Now, antuma, the dual. This gives you the clue that whatever field you are going to choose, you will choose for the dual. And antuma, the mir, the ta tells you you will choose the dual for the mukhatib. Ayyuhal ghulaman. This ayyu, the questioning tool, tells you you are mukhatib. So, tam shian, which of the you two are walking? Antum, again we are mukhatib to male plural. Ayyuha rijal, plural. Aw ta'anakum. So yuhibbun. tuhibbun. Why ta has been chosen here? Because we are mukhatib to male plural. That's why vowel jama, the afalul khamsa with vowel jama has been taken and with the ta. Haulai rijal yazraun to plow, cultivate, fil haql. So we are not mukhatib to these men. We are just telling about some person. So yazraun with the ya representing the ghaib group, and we are talking about male plural. That's why vowel jama. So all these clues you will get in the sentence, and accordingly you will choose the afalul khams. Anti, this damir tells us what kind of damir the fail mudare afalul khamsa we are going to use. Ya Suad. Suad is the name of a feminine. So tal abin. So ta from the mukhatib, ya mukhatiba for the feminine singular. Bil qur'ati. Let's see the next one. So here you have to make sentences, and it's very easy. I have made very simple sentences here. So there are very few sentences. So you can make sentences from these afalul khams. So al-bintan tal'aban bil-qurati. So bintan, the two of them. So I have chosen aliful ithnain for the feminine, tal'aban with the ta. Antum, male plural, tazra'una al-haqli. الشباب male يسبحون في النهر. So that's how you need to make sentences. Now let's see the next slide. Question number 3. In this question, you need to use the afalul khams according to the noun given. So the first one, I have taken few of them. So at-Taliban, seeing the noun, if it's in dual, we will use the afalul khams also for the dual and keeping in mind the gender. So at-Taliban, yes, Judan. Al-Muslimun, male plural, yu'minun. Anti ayyatuha al-fatatu tal'abin. So here if you see the ya mukhatiba with the ta I have used. Why? Because I'm mukhatib fatahtu one female singular. That's why keep in mind about the ya mukhatiba and with the ta. Haula tilmiz. So we are not mukhatib to male plural. So that's why yakhrujun with the ya. So these are the few examples. Question number 4. Here in this question, you need to clarify the marfu cases with the dammah. Number 1, we need to find out the nouns, the fails. So marfu bil dammah, marfu bil alif. Number 2, you need to find out with the alif. Marfu bil waw, this we have to find out. And marfu bil thubut and noon, we have to find out. And let's see. So the first one here is kuttabu. So we have a dhamma, it's a noun, and this is sifa. It should also have a dhamma following the kuttab. Aibatuhum. So this is also marfu with dhamma. Maswanatu. So this is also marfu with dhamma. Indahum is zarf. Wa adhanu. So this is marfu with dhamma. Wa'iyatu. Marfu with dhamma. These are all nouns. Wa al-sinatu, this is also noun with dhamma. Shahidatu, oh, again it's dhamma. Then shaja'atu, again a noun with dhamma, marfu case. Azizatun, khabar with dhamma. So this is again marfu, noun marfu, yada'u. So this yada'u is fail mudari, yes. But we need to find out the afalul khams. This is normal fail mudare where you don't find a noon. So we have to find the fail mudare with noon in it, or there should be an alif in it, or there should be a waw in it. So this is a normal fail mudare. We are not looking for this. Liman yasha, this is also fail mudare. It has a sahih letter at the end and it's a normal fail mudare. We are not looking for this one. Min ibadatihi. Ashukru, this is again a noun with dhamma. Shukrani, this is a noun and it is a dual noun with alif. And this is an extra noun. Bi izhari an ni'mati. So wa bit tahaddusi باللسان وأولهما أبلغ من ثانيهما. So these are actually the damirs for the duals. And muttaquna, now this is a noun with waw al jama, you can see here. This is Jama Muzakkar Salim, a noun as Jama Muzakkar Salim. Humul ladina yu'minuna. So our present tense with the waw al jama is this yu'minuna, and with the subut and noon we have the subut and noon here. Billahi wal yawmil akhir. So that's how you need to keep check in all the nouns whether it has alif musanna, waw al jama. So this is a good practice. Let's move on. Now coming to the last segment of the video, there are few questions. It's important if you can go through the questions. I have given the answers. في كم موضوع تكون نون علامة على رفع كلمة. What is the case when you see that the noon is the sign of raf? Then بماذا يبدأ الفعل مضارع مسند إلى ألف اثنين, means with what does it start when it is joined with aliful isnain? Bimaza, with what does it start the fi'l mudari when it is joined with the aliful isnain? So the third one is وعلى أي شيء تدل حروف مبدو بها. And what does it say when the fi'l mudari is joined with aliful isnain? All these letters that start, that is the letter ta and ya, what does it refer to? بماذا يبدأ فعل مضارع مسند واو الجمع or ya? So what does it mean? Why does it start with the wow and the ya? And masil mithalan, give two examples of the fi'l mudare when it is joined with alif, wow or ya. So I have given examples. So it's of all the afalul khamsa. So you can think of any afalul khamsa. Ma hiya afalul khams. So now this is the last question, means what is afalul khams? The definition. So let's see the answers are, for the first one, it's afalul khams. The second one, when it's with what, how many letters it starts, what are the two letters? Yabdaul fail mudare, either with the ta or with the ya. So what do these letter represent? So these letter, actually there are four letters, anaitu for the present tense, and in anaitu alif stands for ana and noon stands for the nahnu, and the ya and the ta are the two letters. They stand for the separate group. The ta stands for the mukhatib group, the second person, and the ya stands for the ghaib or the third person. So these letters, when come with the present tense, they are called in Arabic as harf mudare. So ta harf mudare represents mukhatib, and the ya harf mudare represents the ghaib. Now with this, the question comes, when the fi'l mudare is added with the waw al jama, the mir, what does it represent? It shows you, as I said, it tells you two things. First, it is used for male plural, and how many people are doing the action. So this also tells you, this waw also tells you that lot of male people are doing the action. And the ya, when it comes, it gives you two information, that is, it is singular feminine coming for one feminine, and it also tells you that you are mukhatib to that single feminine person. So this represents ya mukhatiba li muannas mufrad mukhatiba. More answers. The examples of the five afalul khamsa I have given, so you can think of other verbs also, but keeping in mind the five afalul khamsa, you can use any other verbs here. Then the last one, what is afalul khams? Hiya kullu fail mudare. They are all those fail mudare which is joined with aliful isnain, the waw al jama, the ya mukhatiba. Hiya takunu marfu'an bi thabut noon, and they all have a presence of noon in it, and that tells you that it is marfu. So this is the definition of the afalul khams. Now With the end of the question and answers, this is the end of lesson number 8 that we did the replacement of dhamma by waw, alif and noon. My next video will be on lesson 9, that is alamat and nas, that is the signs of nas case. So now we will learn what are the signs of the nas case, or the letters that tells us yes, this is the nas in the nouns and in the fi'l. So till then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.